Hello, welcome back to the Jan Spiller Show. We're here on chataboutit.com every Tuesday night between 9 and 11 p.m. The number to call to participate is 877-242-8212. And if you missed getting in tonight and want to be on an upcoming show, you can call 212-787-STAR. That's 787-STAR. Now, I do have kind of an astrological news flash for you. There's a new moon coming up, a new moon power day coming up this coming Saturday, June 12th at 7:16 a.m. Eastern Time. So on the West Coast, that's going to be 4:16 a.m. And anyway, there are 4 power days a year for wishing. It's every day of the new moon. So what I suggest you do is go to the website, janspiller.com, and you can get the exact times it'll be on the front page there. You'll get a full story about the exact best time for wishings. But it's a science that combines the art of astrological timing, which is a strength in astrology, with the power of wishing so that your intentions actually manifest. And you can get some of the rules of the road by looking at my book, New Moon Astrology. It's in all the bookstores. Or it's also in your local library. And anyway, start using some of the power that's available to you. I mean, this is not an easy planet to live on. So, the idea is to take charge and to figure out what we can do to have our dreams come true. And wishing under the power of a new moon is definitely one way to do it. So, okay, we have our next caller here. Is this Lynn on the line?
This is. Hi.
Hi, Lynn. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm pretty good here. Where are you calling from?
I am calling from Ann Arbor, Michigan. I'm actually from Detroit, though. I'm probably one of your younger viewers. I just turned 21 last December.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's a whole new beginning. 21 in this society is like a major crossroad.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah,
right.
right.
You're in college.
Yeah, well, that's great. Well, what can I do to support you tonight? What have you called about?
I have a lot of questions as far as relationships and careers are concerned because I went to a single-sex high school, so I've always kind of had trouble with relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And then as far as a career, I have a concentration in college, but I'm not exactly sure if that's the one that I'd like to stick with.
Okay, well, the major issue here for you, again, is control. You've been in situations of responsibility this lifetime, probably with your family in some way, that have made you feel like you had to be in control and organize the situations around you. Does this make sense to you?
Yes.
And so there's kind of an anxiety around thinking that you have to have everything all planned out and make the perfect plan to, be able to have your life work and to survive, actually.
Yes, exactly.
And when applied to relationships, this can be a bit of a problem because you can't ever really control another person. And the approach of control in relationships pretty much is difficult to maintain because it's always controlling what's happening or trying to prevent what's going to happen next rather than just letting the other person know how you feel and listening to what's going on for them. Because what comes out of that is just some kind of a blending and understanding. Are you with me on this so far?
Yes.
So when you approach your next relationship, I would suggest you do it from the level of letting the person you're becoming involved with know how you're feeling, like if you're scared, for example. That would be very difficult for you. You'd rather run a business and let somebody know when you're scared, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's about right.
So for you, that's the greatest challenge. You see what I'm saying? So you're 21. You've got the whole world ahead of you. Lots of relationships will come across your path. So what I'd suggest you start experimenting with is communicating to people. You could start with your girlfriends, like when you feel scared about something or when you feel anxious, because you feel a lot of anxiety, don't you?
Yeah.
It's what the anxiety is coming from, Lynn, is an over-attachment to planning.
I think it's coming from family, definitely. There's a lot going on there. And then with school as well, because my concentration is Spanish, and so all I ever hear from anyone else is, oh, what are you going to do with that? Like, you're not going to be able to get a job with that, and this, that, and the other, and that's, I guess that's kind of non-supportive, not supportive at all, and it's kind of discouraging as far as that goes, because I'm a senior this year, so, I mean, that's kind of it for undergrad.
Right, and your direction, you know, needs to come from within yourself. This is very similar to what we were just speaking with the last caller. Maybe that's our theme for tonight. But for sure, what you're learning to do also is get in touch with your gut instincts, which in your case are extremely excellent. Because when you get in touch with your gut instincts, suddenly you relax the planning and start to glimpse the vision of where you want to go. And when you follow that, you'll find you make absolutely accurate decisions.
So you're saying that I should follow my instinct more instead of trying to plan ahead so I don't have to use it as much?
Exactly. Well, you're not accustomed to using it from past lives. You're not accustomed to that being your survival. So that's the new experiment, is to start using it.
Okay.
Can you see how to do that? Like an example where you could do that? How you can apply to your situations in hand?
Can I give you an example of where I could use my intuition?
Can you see it? Can you see how to apply that?
I could. I'm pretty sure I could figure it out. Basically, whenever I find myself sitting there completely stressed out over something that I can't plan out step by step, I should probably just use my intuition instead.
Yes, and surrender to whatever your situations, your intuitions, your gut instincts say.
Okay.
All right? Okay. Good luck with this.
And then, let's see. I guess I kind of had questions about the summer. What should I be looking for working on this summer in addition to just using my intuition? And
I think that's enough. I mean, let's just run one experiment at a time. You're in a place of just about being ready to just doggone do what you want to do. You know, Uranus, which is in Aries right now, and so everybody's feeling that sense of wanting some kind of new beginning, is squaring your natal Uranus, and Pluto just went over there. You're ready for change. So I would say to do, again, what to do this summer. I just don't know what to tell you. This is your first experiment. What to do this summer would be to get in touch with your gut instincts. What do they say would make you, what you would like to do, would make you happy? Not analytical, not planning. What does your gut instinct say? Okay?
Okay.
And experiment with that.
Also, so I've been at the same job for 3 years, a steady job, and then over the summer I work in other jobs, and my other job over the summer is about to start with some of the same coworkers that I really didn't get along with too much last year.
Mm-hmm. Well, another issue that is part of what you're working with, so it's good to know this at 21. And you might read one of my books called Astrology for the Soul. Have you read that yet?
I have all three of your books. I have Cosmic Love, I have Astrology for the Soul, and I have, what is the other one? Oh, the New Moon Astrology.
Beautiful. I'm so glad to hear that. And there's another one, Spiritual Astrology, is being re-released in July. So so that's great. So I'm glad to hear that. So that gives you a lot of tools for what we're talking about. But coworkers, the problem with coworkers is the issue for you is a tendency to feel you have to control other people's behavior for things to work out right. Do you see what I'm saying? And that gets triggered in the workplace.
They're saying I have to let go of my idea that things should be done a certain way in order to work with other people.
How well put. How well put. That's perfectly put. And you can always listen to the podcast that the replay of this show, and subscribe to it. And I think it's free, and you can rehear that again. The more times you hear that, the better. But that's it exactly. And so the idea is to just surrender it. See, everybody's learning what they're learning here, actually. So, let them be. You just surrender. Surrender it to the larger picture, the higher power, whatever you want to call it, and just go on your way and let them do what they do. And you'll find that connection with your coworkers will improve vastly. Okay?